Welcome back to the channel, lads. This is going to be a build video, slightly differently to what I normally do, of the Dora Wings' Miles M.9 Master Model 1. Those regular viewers will know, thank you for being a regular viewer, will know that my last video was a review of this kit. Now, I wasn't actually going to build this, but I've decided just to put up a little different type of build to the one I would normally do. So this is going to be a little bit truncated, I think. See what we think. So it won't be a complete, won't be a complete blow-by-blow account as such, but it'll be the snippets, and you'll get the gist of it. You'll get to see what we're up against with this kit here. Now, all I've done up to now was take the fuselage halves and the wing halves off the sprues. There are individual sprues, whether they've gone, I think I've chucked them away now. That was no mean feat, let me tell you. The amount of location points or sprue gates on each of these parts was enormous. And then we've had to clean them up as well just to get it to this stage. I like to, this is a good idea just to get it to this type of loose fit, just to see what we're up against, and kind of that is what we're up against, as you can see, straight out with nothing added or taken away. So we're gonna have to do something with this little wing root here. And now it does close up with a bit of pushing and shoving. Now, whether we do this in a different way, i.e. we actually glue the top wing halves to the wing root here and then worry about fitting the bottom part, I think we might do that just for a laugh. Yeah, I mean that's the shape of it. Look, a little bit of a gull wing. It's nice, isn't it? Anyway, so following the instructions, which we always do slavishly, is the first thing on the agenda is these tiny parts. Now, it might be me, it's either the wrong way away or my eyes are failing, but it seems so small for 148. So we've got these throttle quadrants, need this PE putting on. Boiler firing up. These PE parts. Now, I ain't going to film that because it's boring. There's nothing to see, and I need as much concentration as I need. So what we'll do, we'll just go off camera if you like, go off screen, and have a go at that. And we'll come back to it when we're done. So that's kind of how we're going to play this on. Just going to do a bit here and there. It won't particularly be a long video. It's just a case of getting to see what this is like. Now, we have spoke about this before. I think we said it in review, maybe we didn't, but it has been said that the Dora Wings are the classic airframes of our time. Actually, my mate said that, it wasn't me. My mate told me about that train of thought. But he's absolutely correct. This has got so much. This does not feel like a Classic Airframes kit. Definitely. It's just a shame we've got no resin, really. We've got PE and we've got a mask set, but anyway, we'll just don't worry about that. Anyway, let's get to it. Okay, guys. So this is when I say it's fiddly. I mean, that's a bit of fiddly stuff to me. That's very small for 48 scale. And the other like part of the throttle quadrant is this one here. Again, very fiddly. I couldn't film this. It'd just be a nightmare for us. What we're going to do now, we've got the cockpit floors all ready to go. We've got quite a bit of stuff got to get onto here. We've got all these little bits here, all these little greeblies have got to go on, and then we will go with we're going to leave the seats off seats are here. I'll leave the cushions out as well, and then we can spray them up separately. We'll put the rear bulkhead in, and I might leave off the front bulkhead because obviously that's going to be the instrument panel. But all the rest of this stuff we can get in. Okay, so we'll come back when that's ready. So this is where we've got to at the minute. You can see this is all dry fitted. You can see where we've got to here. I think it's going to focus on this. So the cockpit, the instrument panel there is quite nice. That'll come out quite nicely. This is all going to want painting, of course. The seats are all going to be separate, painted up separately. Come on. Is he going to do it? Just about. Anyway, so that's going to be the main instrument panel is going to be separately. There's a decal or decal for that one. Well, there must be two. They've got to be two. Yep, there's two. So we'll probably use decals on that. Decals. These quadrants, and there's have got to go in on this side, but there is some more photo etch to go in if I can find it. These quadrants fit on them rails somehow, and then they will then fit on this side, on the port side of the port or starboard. I can't even speak, I don't know which one it is. So they need to fit on there, and then we're going to spray all that up. You see, this is like Classic Airframes. It's just not quite fitting correctly. Look, so we need to do something with that. I need to that's loose. We need to sort out the top of there. Look, get that all nicely polished up, and then we'll see about getting all this sprayed up. So try and open up these exhaust pipes, manifold, whatever you want to call it, a little bit to give it a bit of detail. It's pretty tedious, but it's not quite so bad. That's the other crumbs, and obviously that's the other side I've just had a go at. It's much better than that. See that? You know this anyway. This is just to show you how easy, just with the scalpel blade, just a quick couple of turns, bit of a clean out with some extra thin, and Bob's your uncle. That probably could do with a bit more coming out, but there you go. When we're ready to for painting, we can mask this little area off. It looks quite easy to mask, and then we can spray that up a metal colour and put a bit of rust on it. So yeah, that shouldn't be too bad at all. Do a little bit of work on the wing and the undercarriage. For the navigation light, we get like this little two-piece thing that goes onto here. I mean, you know, it's all a little bit woolly, but we'll have to just go with this. If I put it get it right the right way round, we might be getting somewhere. Let's put a bit of glue on the back there. Just to hold that in place. Oh, I need to get some more of this. This Tamiya cement is really good. This fast drying stuff. So that's what we're left with. We're obviously going to need to do something with that. We'll try just let that go off just for a second, then we'll try the wing, see what it looks like. It's actually a little bit better than I thought it would be. We're going to have to do something to tidy up inside there. But it's not that bad actually. Not too bad at all. I'm sure we can do something with that. This is Mr. Surfacer 500. Just inside there. Just to do that. It should just take up some of the roughness. And then we can rub this down later on. to a nice smooth finish. So that was a bit rough now, but then in a minute we can, well not in a minute, later on we can rub this down and it'll be nice and smooth, and then we can think about painting it, or at least getting the wing together. If we carry on with the undercarriage parts here, now these are handed, so you cannot get it wrong, which is quite nice. You normally would get something like this wrong. So that lines up there nicely, and I think we go in, which way do we go in? Which way we go in? This is again, it's a little bit woolly. It doesn't give you any location points, as you can see. What we're going to do, I'll just glue this in. Do we can get the bottom wing, get him so he's bang on, and then we can just adjust the suit. That wants to just come over a little smidgen, doesn't it? A bit like that. Lift that away, and then we can glue that up to our heart's content, and obviously it's going to be the same on the other side. So if we have a go at looking at making up the big cowl that sits underneath the fuselage here, which is this bit here, and if you don't know the aircraft, which I don't, let's have a look. It's going to be, this part is a separate piece. Good look at making that up, which is these parts here. Actually, while I've got this out, I need to make a decision relatively rapidly on which aircraft we're going to be building. Now, I've got a feeling that's the boy there. 1938, first prototype, or I think we could be doing that one, you know. Anyway, that's for another day. That's for another day. So we're going to tidy this up, and then we'll come back and we'll have a look at see how it looks like. So we've just pressed fitted the PE radiator grills. I'm assuming these are radiators. I'm just going to drop a little bit of CA just on the back of it here, just so that bites into it and keeps them where they should be. So this isn't the back of these aren't pressed up against anything. So it doesn't matter if the glue makes a little lump. We should be fine still. I hope anyway. To be honest with you, I really don't know how much of this that's going to be seen. Probably not a lot, really. Okay, because this isn't the best fitting part I've ever seen, I'm just going to put a little dab of super glue just in the back there, just down there. Look. This is what it looks like. It's a bit rough, but it looks okay from that side. This point of view, it looks quite nice. And on the bottom of the fuselage, it fits in there quite nicely. There's a little space for it, and fits in like that. So that would look pretty good. There's a little door to go on here. So what I've got here, I've got some sprue goo. Just dab. Sprue goo, all this stuff is down here. It's just tiny or extra thin. Like you'd start making with you've got this much left in it, so you know it's all a bit manky down there, all a bit mucky. Chuck some bits of sprue, decent quality plastic. I probably wouldn't use Airfix stuff. Decent quality plastic, and then keep loading it up with a bit of glue every now and again, and a bit more plastic every now and again, and before you know it, you've got a pretty good filler. Just takes a little time to go off though. 24 hours, that'd be good to sand, and we're golden. So after some sanding with some sanding sticks and some polishing sticks, old one like that, that's what we get. It's quite a nice finish on that. So that fits, like we've already seen, that fits snugly into that. What I did mention earlier, what I wanted to mention, is it's going to be quite interesting, to say the least, on how we're going to paint this little area, because we're going to have a yellow underneath colour, as we know, but inside, this is yellow inside there, but inside of the cowling, I believe, is interior green, so somehow we've got to mask this and then try and take it off after. I suppose we'll worry about that. I'm sure we'll be fine. What I also did as well off camera, I didn't show because again it was ever so fiddly, is the undercarriage here. Look, you see that there. Now that really is quite fiddly. It does look fragile, doesn't it? I think it'll be okay because we've got, you know, the triangulation and the cylinders there, so I think it should be okay, but it does look particularly fragile. We've got all this stuff ready to go on cocktail sticks over here, just to my left. I'm going to show you that. It's a bit of a mess. So talking of paint, which at last I bet you're thinking, my God, we're going to do a bit of priming, and we're going to use some Mr. Surfacer 1500 black. I won't show you the painting because it's pretty dull, but we'll see what it looks like. So we've done some undercoating, as you can see. Gives us a nice finish, nice and smooth. You can still see that line. You won't obviously when it's finished, but it is there. So we've done the undercarriage as well, undercarriage bay. We've also done cockpit floor. So this is my go-to at the minute. I'm still using the Stylo-Res, or I still will use the Stylo-Res, but at the minute this is the go-to for me, and we thin it down with some Mr. Leveling thinner. What mix is it? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. 50-50, 60-40, I don't know. It kind of changes with every with the different atmosphere that you have every time that you spray. Of course, you can alter it slightly, but to be honest with you, I just chuck it in and mix it up. And if it's a bit thin, I add a bit more of this. If it's a bit thick, I add a bit more thinner. The purists would hate that. Anyway, so what I'm done here to go over this cowling issue, I've sprayed it yellow, to be honest. This is going to want the green, and obviously what we'll do when we're ready, come to it, we will be fitting that onto there, and they will put some foam inside here so we don't need to mask up, and then we're good to go. There is a small, if I can get it, there's a small gap going round the outside, just a small one, but we can get some, I can use some perfect plastic putty. We can use some of this just to water-based, quite thin, spread it on, take it off with a cotton bud, all acrylic, all water based. Bob's your uncle, you won't see it, I think we'll be fine. So we're all ready to hit some green. So at last we come to spray some colour. So interior green, like I said, is going to be the MRP. There's a bit of black to go on. So what we're going to use is the MRP again. We've got NATO black, which is obviously like an off black, as you know, not quite black. And for the seats are actually aluminium. Well, they're a metal colour, so I'm going to use this is the AK Extreme Metal aluminium. That's the type of finish we get on with the Mr. Servicer. It's a nice black. I was just saying it's a nice primer. And then that's the cockpit there. Look, nice, isn't it? Anyway, let's go and spray some colour. So with that interior green sprayed up, we get this sort of finish, which is quite nice. That's the colour we're going for. Instrument panel. That's with the NATO black. And there's the other instrument panel. It's quite nice. I'm going to use the decal on here, and we'll just see what it's like, because that's quite nice detail. And hopefully it will settle in quite nicely. Rest of the cockpit is like this. We're going to have to do some bit of interior detail painting, and then we can get, as I say, get the decals on and we can show you what we're dealing with. Well, I've noticed something was bothering me about the canopy is it does show it in the instructions, but it's not massively clear. It's part of, if I can get it, it's part of, if you ever build this kit, just be careful, it's part of this instruction here, and it's this little fillet that goes on the front of the windscreen. Now you get two types of canopy for two different types of aircraft. So we've just fitted the two little fillets here, a little bit of filling wants putting in there. So what we're going to have to do is just quickly repaint that little bit there. It's obviously covers up the instrument panel, and that's in there like that, look, you see. And then the cowling, and then the canopy, which I've actually dipped in floor polish for the first time in a long time, and bugging me, it works. So then that will go fit there nicely. See that? I know it's upside down, but you get the gist. So that was bothering me, but anyway, we sorted that out. So let's go and paint this, do some detail painting, and then we'll be ready for and get some decals on the instrument panels, and then we're going to be ready for a bit of assembly and get this cockpit all wrapped up. So this is the cockpit progress up to now. Seats are in, belts are on. These belts came with the kit, photo etch belts of course. The seats are a little bit, rear seat is a little bit skew with, because the connection points are pretty ropey. I've got to say, but I mean it's going to look okay. I think it's going to look fine. I need to tidy up this back panel here, this back portion. I have to probably rub that down and respray and fill maybe. That's not looking too bad. If you look at these instrument panels, look, that is the MRP night colour, and then we've used the decal, which we said it can't focus this thing, and then we've got some UV glue just to make up the lenses. Just grab the other one. So it looks like that. Well, not too bad at all. Here he is with the fuselage all buttoned up. First thing to note is I need to tidy this little area up here. Make that like a nice clean joint, and then respray that carefully. It was a bit tight, to say the least. A little gap here, But obviously, because it was sort the seams out, obviously around here. Underneath, super glue was used just here and a bit inside there. It was ever so tight, doesn't quite fit. It might be me. That is tight in there. I probably could have done with shaving a bit off the cockpit floor, possibly, to get that in a bit tighter. But not too bad. Not too bad at all. And obviously, just quickly get the bottom wing here. Let's see what we're going to look like. Not look too bad at all. As it is, there's not much of a gap there on the root, but I think we might do that thing, you know, where we glue the top wings actually to the root and offer the bottom underneath. Offer that up, and then we can tidy up from there, can't we? Okay, I think we'll leave it there like that for now.